Ian, how are you?
Good yourself.
Yeah, good man. Sorry,
I didn't.
I've been in the meeting for a little bit. I've just been playing around with the video settings on here. It's been a while since I jumped on Zoom.
No, yeah, I got the email message at like 5:23, and it went Ekosa
Oh,
bands
right.
in the thing, and I was like, shit, really? I've been fucking around for about an hour, so I could have been in myself.
Oh, no worries.
Cool. All right. Let's fucking move this. Um. All right. Hey. Might as well just start then. Might as well just crack on.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah,
So, yeah. So thank you, obviously, for your time today. We're going to discuss the new single, Deliver Us from Evil,
absolutely.
new video that's with that as well, of course.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so basically, what I'll do from this is, but this video will go out at some point, but really what I'll be looking at will be um, obviously getting a written piece out for you guys as well.
Yeah.
So this video bit will be a chance for you to obviously go and give a bit of your backstory, give a bit of where you guys are going in the future, but ultimately what you're doing right now as well. And then on the written stuff, I'll flesh it out with because I know I said I wouldn't do a review, but I'll flesh out what we do written with my thoughts on the song as well,
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
okay, and video.
That sounds great.
So
Yeah,
that's the formal shit out of the way. So Deliver Us from Evil. I'm going to start with by Josh McCauley.
yeah.
How sick is he?
He's an awesome guy to work with. Yeah, yeah. He's done a bunch of stuff. So he did a bunch of promo photos for us at
Yeah.
the beginning of last year, and yeah, having him on board for the kind of video and artistic direction was yeah super cool. Like the guy just gets the vision behind everything. So awesome to work with.
He's really good. I worked with him years ago.
Yeah,
We did a few like shows together where he did the photos and I did a review,
yeah,
and then he just went out on his own, off on his
yeah,
own plane,
yeah.
and he has committed to it. And you're absolutely spot on with his vision. Like when he does any work, it's just
He goes the whole nine yards. Like, and he's so easy to you can tell him your vision for something and he'll basically understand it exactly as and then even better, it's crazy, like he gets your ideas and then executes them to such a level where it's like this is exactly what I was thinking, and it's got the kind of artistic direction and all of the nuances behind it because he gets the technicalities of everything. He understands where the best place for the lighting is, and in fact, it was actually Josh's idea. We gave him full creative control over the video, and it was really cool because it was easy for us because we've done a bunch of music videos with him for the new album, which is coming out, hopefully at some stage this year. But because we'd already worked with him a couple of times before, I said to the guys, let's give Josh the lyrics, let's give him the meaning behind the song, and just let him run with it. And so what you see for Deliver Us from Evil is basically his interpretation of our idea, which is it's so cool to see people make their own meaning out of the song, which has been kind of a pattern that we've found with the track too.
you've kind of touched on four of the things I was going to speak about just in that bit there. So, when you're talking about the content of the song itself, and like lyrically, there's these juxtapositions, the wrong word, but there's the kind of the this thing, but then that
Hmm.
goes all the way through the lyrics. So, like all cruelty stems from weakness, hearts cannot be bought, words
Yeah,
can never be broken. There's kind of this balancing act, um, which my interpretation of that was kind of having to walk that narrow line in life of
yeah,
all the
yeah,
shit that
yeah,
you can easily sway one way or another.
yeah.
Is that actually what the song's about?
The meaning behind the song is really about, I mean, I think it says it in the opening lines of it. I mean, the lyrics are strength's not a choice, it's an obligation. And so it's really about confronting the shit really in the world with strength. You must be strong in the face of adversity. And this idea, when I heard the lyrics, when I read the lyrics and heard the lyrics for the first time that Theo had written, um, I understood what he was going for, which is that all of the evil in the world ultimately stems from some kind of weakness. I mean, if you think about
Mm.
things that are going on in the world, you know, oftentimes the worst parts of humanity or the worst examples of how human beings can act towards one another actually stem from a position of weakness, and it's often trying to compensate for that weakness where we see a lot of that stuff happen. And so, yeah, it's I think it's really about you know, being courageous and being strong as though it's a duty that you have to you must embrace that because the alternative to being strong is being weak. And if you're weak, then you find that you're leaning towards being cruel to other people, and it's yeah, it's but I see what you mean though. I mean, a lot of the lyrics are almost like almost parables in a way, which is kind of Theo's always been about that sort of lyricism, you know, kind of making you think a little bit reflective and introspective there.
I mean, it's almost. I don't know if we want to head down this path or not. You may or may not, but it's a bit of the what you mentioned there is almost biblical, and I'm not
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
you guys.
yeah,
Yeah, it's that. I mean, I don't take you guys as a sort of biblical band in any of that sort of nature, but as you mentioned, there's an awful lot of strong imagery that can come from that, both in its words and then, of course, in its videos as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
do you try and stay away from that, or do you go, yeah, fuck it, let's dabble?
I think uh, we wouldn't say that we're a biblical band or anything like that, but I guess that kind of yeah, that kind of way of speaking or that way of talking, kind of finding the sort of metaphors and the I'm trying to think of the sort of conventions or whatever with writing and things like that. But I think it's really just meant to be lyrics and music that make you think and make you question, and promote that kind of like, you know, what does this actually mean? Is there kind of a juxtaposition, as you said, going on here? Is there some kind of allegory or some kind of symbolism which is happening? The lyrics themselves, I think, at a surface level, are quite simple. You know, you hear it's a sick world, for instance, and that's one of the lines that's in the song before the last section comes in. And you think, oh yeah, it is a sick world, but then you think, well, what might that actually mean? It's a sick world. Like, does that mean that like it's sick and we need to do something to make it better? Or are we just going to be happy to say it's a sick world and that's it? You know, because you could take it one way or the other. But I think, yeah, I think just you know we're a fairly deep or introspective thinking band, and so I guess we're trying to pass on some of that to the listeners. But if people would prefer to not think, then that they're their surface level as well. So yeah,
Multifaceted. I work with
multi.
that.
That's the way to put it. Multifaceted. Yeah.
Which then brings it to the musical part. I mean, uh, I don't like labeling stuff because I think labeling stuff kind of boxes you in. But and then I say but, which means I'm ignoring what I just said. However, there's this really strong kind of technical death metal prog vibe behind it because it's just it's intense. It's this like kind of like beast that just comes at you,
Yeah.
with your drums that are in there and that just fucking going for it. And then the vocals as well. This even though the vocals are growls, they're melodic growls as well. Like they're not just they're in there as well. Do
Yeah.
you guys kind of try to push yourselves musically to not be in a kind of a we like Gajira, so we're just going to do Gajira stuff? Do you try and get out there as much as possible?
Yeah, I think the song, like the single, probably reflects that we've got a whole lot of different like influences. Definitely that kind of groove element has been part of our style for quite some time, I think, and we you know we all love Gojira and things like that. And we'd be kidding if we said that they weren't a major influence of ours. I mean, when I wrote that first riff in the song, I was just channeling Gojira the whole time, and I was like, "Here's a Gojira riff," and I, what nothing was going to happen with the track, and it was just going to sit there. But then Theo and Michael came around to my place one day, and I said, "Oh, I've been working on this song," and they said, "That's fucking awesome! Like that's a sick riff," and we did something with it, but. Yeah, I guess we've never kind of like and it's even tricky to even to say what genre we are. I mean, it's hard to stand out from the crowd of bands these days. It's a very
Mm.
saturated sort of music scene, and so you almost need to go, we are a insert genre band so that people know what to associate you with straight away. But that's proven to be more and more of a challenging kind of task because we might be, I think we are progressive in a way, but it's not like, I mean, if you put the prog label on something and immediately people can think anything from Dream Theater to Meshuggah to Opeth. So yeah, I guess we blend a whole lot of influences together, and if it ends up sounding like one more than another, then we'll run with that. But it's tricky. I mean, people have their own biases, and they might see something referred to as metalcore rather than death metal, or death metal rather than prog, and then and go, oh well, I'm not going to listen to it because it's like that. But it's tricky. Yeah, it is tricky.
Well, how would you describe yourselves then?
I think like if I was going to be if I was going to be honest about it, I would say it's kind of groove driven progressive metal or something like that. I mean, I think that groove element is probably the biggest aspect of ours. You know, we've been referred to by some people in Adelaide as being like Adelaide's Gojira. So it's kind of like Gojira with more breakdowns, I guess. So, and maybe some guitar solos thrown around here and there, but yeah,
I
we're
didgeridoo.
kind of yeah, treading that kind of Gojira fit for an autopsy kind of line with this song in particular. Yeah.
Are you going to see them next week?
I am gonna miss them on every occasion because well, we're actually so I've seen them. I know it doesn't
Put the
it
sun
doesn't really
down.
stack up with them. So this banner I got back when I saw them for the second time at Enigma Bar. Previously I'd seen them at the old uni bar, and then I saw them at Fat Controller. But so Ekosa's playing in Sydney this Friday, and then Newcastle this Saturday, and Fit for
They're
an
in
Autopsy.
Melbourne.
Yeah, then we'll be in Melbourne when they're in Adelaide. So it's kind of like I've missed them. Like we're playing in opposite cities this weekend, and then they'll be playing in Adelaide when we're in Melbourne. So yeah, I'll miss it all. But and then they're only playing in Perth for Froth and Fury. So um, that's okay. I've seen them three times, but I want to catch them again for sure. They're an awesome band. Are you going to go see them?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm doing Perth,
Yeah,
Frog and
nice.
Fury.
Yep,
So
yep,
I'm doing both of them. But
yep,
so it means that weekend they're here. Won't see them at
yeah.
all, but I'll see them.
See them in
Yeah, because I'll be
Perth.
in Perth. Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
But I miss everybody. Like that night, there's like 47 fucking shows
Oh,
on the.
it's heaps going on, and there's a Ramstein show, a Till Lindemann show,
Mhm.
kind of thrown in there as well. It's yeah, January's just kicked off.
I think that that weekend of Australia Day weekend in Adelaide, we've
Yeah,
got Fit for an Autopsy,
yeah,
Plotting You,
yeah,
Poppy, I think Till Lindemann, you're right, and there's
yeah,
somebody else.
yeah,
It's just like that weekend's just
yeah.
chaotic.
And even
Idiot,
this
yeah.
coming end in Adelaide is Swallow the Sun that I would have liked to see on the Sunday night. You know, it's yeah, it's heaps going on.
Yeah, it's good. It's at least I have stuff. So it's
Yeah,
wasn't that long ago we had fuck all.
I know, I know.
But you're just talking now about the tour actually, and when you actually do play in Adelaide, all the way in March,
Yeah.
you'll be obviously you're on the support thing there. So when you go out and you go to Sydney and Newcastle, 'cause, people in Adelaide will know who you are, and you'll have a lot of friends and family who'll go and watch you.
Yeah.
But for the guys in the state who haven't seen you before, what can they expect from an Ekosa show?
High energy, big grooves, heavy riffs, something which sounds similar to Gojira, Fit for an Autopsy, the new metalcore progressive groove kind of thing. So high energy is definitely the big one that stands out. Yeah, a lot of crowd interaction. Uh, just something that you can go and just bang your head to and just get into it. You know, that's what we're all about. And a lot of the new new tracks too. People can expect to hear some new songs from us. We're going to play some things from the new album on these shows. So yeah.
Well, that nice leading because that was the next part.
Cool.
literally, what's next? So
Yeah.
you've already touched on it a couple of times. Hoping to have a new album out, hopefully by the end of this year. You're going to be playing some new tracks.
Yeah.
What are these tracks a continuation of what you've done previously, or are you actually going out and completely shaking things up?
It's a much more refined version of Ekosa with the new tracks. It is playing heavy into that groove idea. A lot of the new ones sound very. I get reminded of sort of Singularity era North Lane when I hear some of the new
Ooh, yeah,
tracks, mixed with
yeah.
a bit of Meshuggah, mixed with almost like a Lamb of God-esque kind of vibe, but then still keeping true to that, sort of progressive groove sort of thing. So. Yeah, when we've got these and also Fit for an Autopsy, we've got these two songs which kind of go back to back on the album. The first one's called Dead Sea, and then the second one's called Senescence. And Dead Sea is about the very multifaceted situation in the Middle East and what's been going on there for quite some time. And Senescence is kind of a story about what happens to the mind as you get old and you age and the relentless march of time and that kind of thing. And the two go seamlessly back to back, and there's this huge groove which just sort of marries the two together. And when we've played those two songs live, people understandably see it as one song, but they go, "Oh, that second song that you played, that the one that was called Dead Sea, that was just the one that stood out." Like it's a huge groove, and we just repeat it over and over and over again just to kind of solidify the idea that we're trying to build there. But it really, like when I heard it and heard it recorded and mastered and the energy behind it, it reminded me of listening to, Genesis and Scarab off of Singularity by Northlane. I just had this. I was like, the energy's there. Like it feels like Akosa feels like a band that's energized now. Like we've been through the experimentation phase. We've done the prog stuff. We've done the long form, 8, 9, 10 minute songs, and we've kind of taken all of the stuff that we learned from that and distilled it into a kind of more concise and refined sort of package, which keeps true to what we are, but also takes it in a bit of a new direction as well.
I'm glad you said that because I'm getting emails from Fury actually while this is
Yeah,
happening. Sorry, that's what that noise is. The is it when you were talking about the different genres and different styles of music and what you guys have done as a band in the past, what you come into the one the one style I would say that you've continually mentioned, maybe you've done it subconsciously, I'm not sure, is you've kept saying groove.
yeah, yeah,
You've kept narrowing into that. So there's like all this other stuff, which is almost like garnish, but there's
yeah.
going to be this groove. That's the meat and potatoes of
That's it. Yeah.
what you guys are going to be. And so the follow on from that would be when the rest of the album's done. Um, is it going to be that same sort of groove vein through it? Are you like a and but then because I know you guys are quite deep thinkers as well lyrically, is there then going to be a kind of a concept that comes with that through the rest of the album?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, so the album is finished. We've recorded, mixed, mastered. It's all done. And so the album will be called The Future Ancients, and basically the concept behind it is about it's thinking about the way that we will be perceived by future generations. And so there's songs in there, as I said, about some of the political stuff that's going on in the world, some of the things that we're up to right now as human beings, as a collective. I guess kind of the downfall of power structures and authority and things like that. And so that the lyrical theme is quite consistent throughout all of it. It's again quite introspective and as a through line is that kind of tendency towards sort of that groove, but there's also a lot of other. I mean, some of the other songs have almost a black metal kind of vibe about it. There's melodic death metal in there too. So yeah, we had kind of three main writing forces on the album. I wrote a couple of songs. Stephen, one of the guitarists, wrote a couple of songs. Theo wrote some songs, and then Michael wrote a song as well. So there's been quite a lot of diversity in the approach, but I think we've sequenced it nicely so that it all makes sense. It doesn't sound like five dudes getting together on a Sunday arvo, having a barbecue and seeing what happens. That's yeah.
Well, you guys, I mean, from from my knowledge, from knowing one or two of these anyway, and then from my research, you guys, like you said there, isn't it? Not just five guys getting in a garage on a Sunday. You guys are also in other bands. You're also doing different styles with different elements in there. Do
Yeah.
you do you like find yourself with these other bands going? I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to anyway. Like you sit there and you go, "That's a fucking good idea. I'm going to steal that for a coaster, or I'm going to, manipulate it a little."
Yeah, well, it's been. I don't know if I've totally stolen any ideas, but it's definitely been seeing what those other bands are doing, or those other bands pushing my abilities to a point where I can then bring that into a Kosa. Lumen Ad Mortem, for instance. I mean, when I took over drum duties from Matt Sanders in 2023, like I hadn't played black metal like that sort of stuff before, and so those kind of mid-tempo blast beats and kick pedals that just go for minutes on end, like that pushed my ability there. So I brought some of that into one of the Ekosa songs, which is the one that sounds a bit more black metal on the new album. It's called The Lesson. So that's somewhere in the middle. But yeah, I think being in other bands which really push your technicalities and abilities as a musician. Like our bass player Jack also plays in Wings of Thanatos with me, and we both play in the Slow Light together. And Stephen also plays in Ecdysis. So yeah, and Theo was playing in Kuiper for a bit with Jack, which was a post-rock sort of thing. So it's been this kind of melting pot, and it's been a really cool, I guess, point that where all of our influences have just kind of converged into the one thing. And now that I think about it, you can hear elements of all of those bands in this, but it hasn't been in a way which has sacrificed the cohesiveness of the album as a whole. So really keen to get it out there. We just have to work out a bit of a plan for the release and see how we go with that.
Guessing when you do the release, there'll be another release tour that'll come with it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, we've discovered that that's the way to get the word out. I mean, getting the word out is always the hardest part with music, I think. So
Yeah, yeah,
looking for ways to get the word out, to get people to hear what we've been doing is has to be the priority, I think. Yeah.
yeah. So in regards to Ecosia yourselves, when I've seen you guys, I checked before I got on there. I've seen you guys five times
Oh wow.
in
Okay.
multiple different spots. Yeah, I saw you at Festival Theatre. That's probably the weirdest place I saw you.
Oh,
With
yes,
Freedom
the
of
guitar
Fear.
festival. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, wow.
Was it Freedom of
That
Fear?
was an
Yeah, it was
interesting
Freedom of
gig.
Fear.
I actually didn't play that show, and neither did Stephen. We were both in Europe, so we had Anthony Cooder from Blindfolded and Led to the Woods played
I know
drums,
Cooter.
and
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, and then Jack filled in on guitar because we had a different bass player at that time. So it was. I remember getting the getting the gig offer, and I was eating a cheese pie on a beach in Greece. And I said to the guys, I was like, "Look, boys, if you want to do the show, you should do it, get a fill in, but I'm on holiday. It's not happening for me." Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. Saw you at Unibar, seen you at Line Arts.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen you at Line Arts twice, maybe three times. I think it might be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, obviously, so I've seen you guys over the last, well, so it was 2023, that was, wasn't it? So the last 2 or 3
yeah.
years, I've seen you guys five times. A couple of years ago, you go and drop the album. But who is Ekosa? Like, what's the history of the band? Like, no, I don't want 20 years of it. Like, just in a nutshell, really.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the band sort of started in 2013 as being all of those guys jamming together. A few different members and lineup changes. I joined the band on drums in 2016, and at that point, the band had probably 3 or 4 songs written. Again, those very long form songs, which then went into a live studio recording for the It Surrounds It Becomes EP. Which, to be honest, we sweep under the rug as a band these days. It's not an accurate reflection of what a Cosa is at all. It was such a haphazard recording. We recorded an EP, like a 25 minutes worth of audio in one day at House of Sap, and it was all live and pretty haphazard. So and then a couple of the early songs made it onto Eye for Eye that we recorded in 2021. Um, and then, yeah, we've kind of refined the whole writing and production process over the years. But Yeah, currently, so we've got myself on drums, Theo vocals, Michael and Stephen on guitar, and Jack on bass. And it's a really really good sort of functioning core in terms of the way that we like write, collaborate, and we're all on the same page with things too, which it's good to finally get to this point of maturity with a band where all of that long form history is there, where because all that history is there, there's a belief in the direction and the process behind everything. Because some of the biggest bands around today have a history that predates the album that you heard first of theirs. It's takes a lot of work to get to the point where people know your name. And I think we've always wanted to be intentional about the process and wanted to do things the proper way rather than the most expedient way. And it's kind of good. At this point, it kind of feels like we're starting to get some of the return on the investment, which is cool.
Almost like an Adelaide kind of again narrowing you in, but an almost an Adelaide prog metal supergroup because you all
Possibly.
have this history everywhere else, and then you come in here
Yeah,
and then you go,
yeah,
bang, this is it. This is the A
yeah,
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is the one. This is where it all counts.
Yeah, yeah, fuck the rest of the bands. Well, we'll edit that out. Uh,
There'll be times for interviews for those bands.
yeah. And it was interesting what you said about the like when you were talking about that first record. I've heard a few Adelaide bands say the same thing. Like the first thing they've done, they've gone, yeah, we don't want anybody to hear that anymore. We did at the
Yeah,
time, but not
yeah,
now
yeah,
because we're so much
yeah,
better. And then the next,
yeah.
as you were saying that, the next thing I was thinking of was like, yeah, Pantera's first three albums.
Mm.
Nobody talks about them, you know.
Nobody
And I love
talks. That's right.
Sepultura.
Yeah,
E-
yeah,
Even Sepultura's
yeah.
first album, like, oh fuck, it's just horrific.
Yeah, yeah. Even when you think about it, well, yeah, Pantera is a great example. The glam metal era, it's like that's not them at all. Yeah, even Metallica's first album, it's not always mentioned, in discussions about their discography and that sort of thing. So
It's interesting.
I think it's
Going on
yeah,
the Kill 'Em All album. Um, I think it sounds awful, and I don't think the song's that great. However, then when you hear them songs live,
yeah,
that's the thing you get, and it'll sound great live. And then you can go back to the album and go, oh yeah, it's not too bad now because you're hearing the
yeah,
live
yeah,
version.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but you're
yeah,
right, it sounded yeah. But ooh,
yeah, yeah.
it's like a black metal album. It's, all right.
Well, that
Is
that
there
might
anything
that might
else?
be that might be enticing to some groups. Some
Yeah, that's
some
true.
people like that underproduced sound. Yeah.
Um, so look, thank you very much for your time tonight. Is there anything else you want to add that you think would be worthwhile for me to chuck in? Apart from obviously buy the
I
single. Yeah.
Yeah, buy the single and grab a ticket to the Allegiant gig on March 5th because we're pushing pretty hard to get some sales there. Really, really for a Legion, to be honest, because they're not hugely known, and we want people to know more about them. And if they're gonna go out on a bit of a limb to come to little old Australia by themselves, it'd be good to see heaps of people turn up for them.
Yeah.
Adelaide's
Yeah.
notoriously hard to sell tickets for, so we just want to make sure we get the word out. It'd be nice if we had a good turnout, but ultimately just for those guys so that they're not coming here and only playing to a handful of people. So, yeah,
Agreed. Agreed. 5th of March
yep.
at Line Arts.
It's at the Ed Castle, I reckon.
Ekosa.
Yeah,
Ekosa. That part I
yeah,
didn't write
yep,
down, just wrote down Adelaide. All right.
yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time then, Rory.
Oh,
I
thanks for
will
your
get
time.
this.
Appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I'll get it typed up today and then I'll get it sent through to the editor. Um,
Yep.
I know he's got something else in mind that's supposed to go up today and then Youngblood's tomorrow. I'm not doing Youngblood.
Mhm.
But hopefully we'll have something up within the next day or two for you.
Cool.
And then, yeah, best luck with the single, best luck with the tour. And I'm sure I'll see you around before the 5th of March anyway. But if not, I'll see you on the 5th of March.
Yeah. No worries. Thanks, Eve, Ian. Appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. Take care, buddy. Bye.
Thanks, man. See ya.